Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guest is a very talented actor. He's best known for his roles in Curfew and Hanna. Please welcome very talented Ike Bennett. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. How are you today, mate?
I'm doing great. So listen, I know you're in a different country, but you're still going through the pandemic and the racial divide and everything going on. How are you holding up?
Yeah, obviously when it happened, we get whatever happens in America, we get it like, the next day, next morning. And when I feel bad in saying this, but when I first saw the video, it was more like a reaction of, oh no, here we go again.
Yeah.
But I think what was different this time is that people have always given excuses to police officers' brutality, but that was so in your face. Especially when you see the guy's eyes, both the victim and the perpetrator. And over here it was a crazy reaction because I always feel like there's this, but actually, to be fair, I don't really know what the feeling is like in America, but over here growing up, it always feels like our issues was never important as what goes on in America. Mm-hmm. So not just for me as well, but loads of friends and colleagues that I've talked with it brought up a lot of bad memories of what that is. And it might not have been brutality, it might have been feeling just different or other in the community that growing up in. And it was absolutely horrific, and the reaction to it around the world has been really encouraging.
Yeah, I was very impressed to see so many people, diverse, people out there protesting and demanding change. And sadly we lost Chadwick Boseman. What's your reaction? I know you as a fellow actor. What do you think his legacy will be? And how did him as his character in your industry impact you?
Yeah, I mean, seeing that Chadwick died just a few days ago was so horrific. Like, when you consider how big he is and how successful Black Panther was, to have kept that so in-house with his own team, like, it shows that he was able to go out on his own terms, I feel, especially with everything that's going on with race, especially like for you in America as well. I'm sure like it's every single day something is happening, and I'm sure like a lot of people wanted his reactions, and he had to deal with that in his own way. And he's going to be the GOAT, really. Because growing up I was more, and I feel like a few Black people can say this, is that like I grew up watching a lot of anime because I never really connected with Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, that. So like mine was like Goku or Naruto or Vegeta or all these cartoons. And I remember when Black Panther came out, I took my second cousins to go see him, and they're like 5, 4, and 3 respectively, and they were like so in awe of like this huge multi-dollar blockbuster film, and they're gonna have something to look up to and grow up. And I guess that's like that's what I want to do with my acting, is that I'm from a place north in Manchester called up north in Manchester anyway, up north in England, and growing up I never really had any Black role models to look up to from my area. Exactly. Mine was always like Denzel. I think when I was deciding on whether or not I wanted to do acting, I watched Get On Up for the first time with Chadwick Boseman, and his performance as James Brown was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And when you see someone that looks like you on screen, and it literally proves that you can do anything in life.
Exactly.
Chadwick's going to be such a huge miss, especially for the entire industry.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, let's talk about you. So what made you decide to get into this crazy world of acting?
Oh yeah, what made me decide to do it? It's always been like an itch, I guess. There's always been an itch to perform, whether it was playing football or soccer, as you guys call it. Like, even that is quite in itself, and I've just always loved it. When I was a young kid, I was always energetic, loud. I'm a bit small in frame, so like my parents couldn't get me into boxing or martial arts.
That wasn't going to be your talent, huh?
Yeah, that's it, man. They just taught me how to read early, and I've just been doing that. High school, I did a few school productions and such. Went on to college, did a performing arts at college, and then I found out that you could do it as I think you guys would call it college, but we call it university. For 3 years, we can just find out about the craft. So. Especially like Manchester's quite a working class city, so if you're not in the theatre scene, or you're not into like going to movies, or like you kind of don't really know how to make a path, as per se. Say if you grew up in London,
right?
So I've just been lucky, God willing, that my path's brought me down this way.
Most definitely. And
Yeah,
you're definitely doing your thing. Like I said, you're on Amazon's Hanna. You've been in there. So how was that experience?
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. The entire team was so lovely. It was, I think I auditioned in spring last year. Standard process, 3 auditions, and then flew out. We got to film in Barcelona, which was absolutely amazing. It was my first time there. Yeah. I never actually knew how big it was.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It was really, really big, but yeah, it was just a really, really good job to be on. All my fellow actors were just amazing, incredible as well, and just walking around seeing the city. And that's the best thing about this job, is that you go to crazy places that you never would normally think to go, but it was phenomenal. Yeah.
Most definitely. And then earlier this year, you filmed Death in Paradise.
Yes, I did.
So when did you stop filming that? Because I know that the pandemic happened. So did you just beat it?
Yeah. Well, I think I got the audition about 2.5 months ago. So the audition came through, and then the thing is with Death in Paradise, what made it more special as well doing this job is it was more like just finding like the safety precautions that had to be taken in place, and making sure that both the cast and crew didn't break any of them precautions. So the insurance, basically the insurance companies, and like all the logistics that goes on behind the scenes. So I auditioned during lockdown, was lucky enough to get the part, and just flew out. Had to get a PCP test, COVID test, sorry.
Yeah.
And just flew out. Had to wear a mask the entire 8-hour flight to the Caribbean, which was an experience in itself. But it was an amazing experience. It's a beautiful island. Like, I've never been to the Caribbean actually, so that was wonderful. Yeah, but you started to see I think Paris was a mess. Like, a lot of airports that we went to were struggling with the different changes and that. But the greatest thing about the job is that everybody was really patient with each other, which is what you have to be, because we've never really had a way to track people before and make sure that it's all traced and safety precautions are all taking place. So everybody's just being patient with each other, and that was really, really great about that job.
Yeah. Well, what can you tell us about that project? Who's your character?
I play a character called, I don't know if I'm allowed to say actually. I play a character called Benny, basically.
Okay. We won't get you in trouble.
I can't really. I can tell you his name. His name's called Benny Morgan. And we have. It's a really good episode. I think everybody's going to really love this one. Worked with some amazing actors and actresses on the show. Rolf Little, as you know, headlines the show, and he was an amazing fella to talk to, especially because he's from my area as well, back home in Manchester, and a lot of the crew there were from my community and everything. So it was really great. It was just a really fun, good, solid gig. The crew out there and the team out there, having been on it for over 10 seasons now, nearly. So they're just incredible. Really, really, really
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Awesome. And you also filmed. So earlier this year, you filmed Kisses and Bum Flicks, which is it a pilot?
Yes, it's a pilot, the Sky One, that I filmed at the start of the year. Still don't really know what's going on with that yet, just because of the entire Corona thing. But again, that was actually the first all black, majority black project that I'd done actually. So
nice.
Yeah, I I don't normally take credence to stuff like that, but because in this industry you're just so used to seeing white faces anyway.
Yeah.
But just being on that, learning about, because I'm from Manchester, you see, so learning about the London slang or inner city London, going to school there, because other places of England you go to school and it's sort of in the middle of the countryside, a big field. But I've always found it a bit weird how what's it like to grow up in a city, you know what I mean? You walk out and then you're in the middle of Manhattan or somewhere, or you're in the middle of Soho, and I just find that part of the project was just really great to find out about the character.
Yeah,
it was proper, it was live.
That's awesome. So what is your, let me ask you this first. How do you get into character? Do you have a process? I've interviewed a lot of actors and they have different processes how they get into character. What do you usually do?
Yeah, I normally, it helps to read the script.
Right.
So, read the script, and then you I always find that it's always good to just work with what the writer's written, the facts of it, just the bare facts. And then, when you read it, I always try and see if I get a voice. You know, some jobs that the voice never comes, and you just got to work with what you have to do, like more giving credence to the moment rather than, you know, trying to just be interesting, I guess. But for me, you know, I always try and hear for like this little voice that, you know, starts from center. And I think, you know, whatever that may be as well, like I know some people that do animals, some people that, you know, have their own methodology, but I always try and find that little thing of like, where's that voice coming from in me?
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, like how much of that voice can I help conjoin with the character, as well as not just trying to make something, you know, interesting or try and be interesting for the camera or audience and such.
Yeah, yeah. Do you come out of character quickly, or do you have to take some time to you know, shake it off you? How does it work for you?
Yeah, no, I can come out of character quickly.
You come out?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there are some, you know, some scenes, it all depends on how you work. Like some scenes that you have to, you know, you can't just go hell for leather, right? Some things that you have to like be on your own or be in your own sort of creative space. But once the, you know, director says cut, then, you know, it's all one story. That scene's all crossed over. Then yeah, of course, yeah, I drop out. But if it's something like a heavy scene, like I always find my own way of like try and be myself, but stay in that zone and that moment.
Do you have a dream role that you like to? What do you think a dream project for you will be?
Dream project. Oh wow, playing Miles Morales, Spider-Man. I think with I think I'll have Idris Elba as my dad.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
You come out with granddaddy, I know.
Yeah.
I don't really have one, you know. It's just I'm just, you know what, like there are sometimes like every few years I'll see a film that I'm just like, that is phenomenal. I think the last one was like Moonlight, I think. So to see like a feature film that isn't not Hollywood norm would be the wrong word, but like a really interesting topic or feature or a really amazing story that no one's ever heard before, to be have the privilege of telling that to the audience would be my dream role. Yeah.
I know everything's kind of uncertain with COVID-19 and everything, but you did shoot the project recently, so that's good. Do you have anything else on the horizon that you're looking forward to?
No, not yet, man. Just, you know, I thought I've been lucky, like, you know, I mean, I'm one of the few actors in the world to have worked during the pandemic, and hopefully with what we've done, it's going to open up the doors for the industry to just pick up again, going forward. For now, man, I'm just going to reinvest in myself, I think. Just make sure that my just make sure that my peoples and my family over here are just good, safe, planning ahead for the future. And if a part comes in, I'll be ready for it. If not, then, you know, just got to keep stepping. Life keeps turning.
Yeah, well, I know it's coming.
I
definitely know it's coming for you.
Oh,
where can everyone keep up with you and everything you have going on? What's the best way?
Yeah, the best way to keep up with me, honestly, is on Instagram.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah. Bennett, but it's you get rid of the E's, so it's I have Twitter, and I do have professional people following me, but I'm not really much of a tweeter. Like,
Instagram. Most people on Instagram.
Yeah, that's it. Because Instagram, you can just like, you know, you're not reading, so it's like less work, and reading. So
exactly.
With you can find me on Instagram, definitely, or Facebook. If you type my name, Ike Bennett actor, little fan page should pop up. But Instagram, way forward, bro. Whoever invented that is a rich man, and deservedly so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, our thanks go out to Ike Bennett for joining us tonight. Wish you continued success. I know it's kind of late over there, but we look forward to seeing where your career continues to take off.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephen, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me and just showing interest in this podcast, bro.
Absolutely. Well, listen, for more information on Ike Bennett, go to our website, thestephennightshow.com. We'll be right back after this.
Cheers, bro.